Krauser Volleyball is off to a fast start in district. A few digs here, a kill there, and the Eagles are already 2-0 and well off into district play. And how will football fare? Fresh off a loss, it's time to lock and reload for the Eagles. All this and more will be broken down here. Game time coming up.
Welcome back to Game Time. I'm Brandon Bonaparte alongside Gabby Mahan, Braden Brandvold, and Seth Golden.
Now there is no theme for this week, so we're just in a regular suit, but we will still be breaking down all the games from this last week.
Let's move on to the game from last week. The Prosper Eagles lost 33-16 to the Lake Ridge Eagles, a game in which Prosper, they couldn't quite find themselves offensively. Now this goes in the column as a defeat, but there are things you can learn from this loss, as well as any loss.
That's true, Brandon. One takeaway from this game was definitely our defensive backs. They really seemed to hold their own against Lake Ridge's lethal quarterback, at least when it came to passing, including a Blake Harrington interception early in the first quarter.
Wayne Anderson was our leading rusher in this game, having 98 rushing yards off of 17 carries, and Jocelyn Clark was again able to have 2 rushing touchdowns from within the 5-yard line. Although he may not receive the most carries, he seems to make the most of them as he's had 4 rushing touchdowns over the first 2 games.
In December with 2 3-and-outs and 2 other drives that ended after only 1 first down, but we are looking for a better outcome tonight.
We will be right back after this. Welcome back to Game Time. District play is underway for Krauser Volleyball, and they're already doing their thing, sitting atop of the district with a record of 2-0 in districts and 27-5 overall.
They won their matchup this past Tuesday against Newman Smith 3-0, in which Sierra Hecht had 22 kills and Maddie Whitmire had 43 assists to go on top of her having 4 aces. Both of them were on fire, and Sierra Hecht was literally killing it everywhere.
I feel like our volleyball team is going to do big things this year. They are ranked number 2 in 5A according to Girls Coaches Association, which is a lot of pressure, but they continue to show us why they are ranked so high every single week, and we hope that they come out 3-0 after tonight's game.
Volleyball, no matter how many players they lose or who they play, always seem to come out on top.
Their continued dominance can only be rivaled by few other teams, as like Gabby said, they are ranked 2nd in 5A in the state of Texas, which is astounding.
Those rankings don't come as a surprise. But now we're going to kick it to see the highlights from volleyball and football's game last Friday night.
Prosper was in action at home last Friday versus Lake Ridge. Both teams had many miscues on both sides of the ball, as Lake Ridge's quarterback had to scramble on most plays. We had a few missed sacks on plays where the quarterback was able to get away and scramble for yards. Prosper also gave up 3 fourth-down conversions within the first half. Prosper was plagued by penalties leading to being behind on downs. Prosper came out with a loss 33-16 after winning their first game. Volleyball played this last Tuesday versus Newman Smith and came away winning all 3 matches easily. Julia Kiefer has the kill after a perfect Maddie Whitmire assist. Morgan Monroe keeps the play alive, giving Sierra Hecht the chance to have a great kill. Hope Gramley doesn't even let the ball back on her side before slamming it into the court. Chloe Hancock then blocks an attempt to get the ball over. Maddie Whitmire sets up Sierra Hecht for a kill between 2 defenders. Then Maddie Whitmire does it again for Chloe Hancock between 2 more defenders. Sierra Hecht keeps the ball in play for Maddie Whitmire to set it up for the assist. The Eagles took care of all 3 matches by ease and won the last match 25-6 in a game that was never in question.
After this commercial break, we will be taking a look at our Player of the Week, and Reese Renz will be showing us how to amp ourselves up in the stands during Friday Night Lights.
Join HOSA with the classroom code 5TI5TDQ. See Ms. Horniak or Ms. Megley in rooms 1255 and 1257 for questions. Sign-ups are due by September 21st. College night will be September 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the cafeteria and main hallway. September 15th is the last day to purchase a yearbook for $60. After Friday, the prices will raise. Juniors, there will be a class ring presentation on September 18th during Eagle Time in the auditorium.
Last week's Player of the Week came from our football team, and although they are coming off a loss, they still had players who made big plays for the team. But volleyball has been outstanding so far this year and have players putting up great stats every single game. We will now be sending it over to Reese Ranger to find out who exactly our Player of the Week is. Reese?
Thank you, Seth. I'm Reese Ranger with your Player of the Week. Now let's get right into it. This week's Player of the Week is an outsider on the varsity volleyball team, Sierra Hecht. Tuesday at the game against Newman Smith, Hecht had 22 kills and 1 ace, and while back on the line serving, she contributed 4 points to the board, helping Lady Eagles on their victory. That's all I have for today. I'm Reese Vance with your Game Time Player of the Week. Tune in next Friday for more athlete highlights.
Another impressive performance by all of volleyball, to say the least. Prosper football is back in action tonight against Liberty at 7 o'clock in the Star in Frisco. Liberty is 0-2 coming into this game after their loss against Sherman. They surrendered over 90 points combined in their first 2 games, so it will be interesting to see what Liberty's defense can do against Prosper's offense.
I'm looking for our defense to put on the best game of the season so far, especially in the fourth quarter, since Liberty has yet to put up any points in the fourth quarter throughout 2 games. Our defense did hold sturdy, allowing us to get 4 interceptions within 2 games.
I'm looking for us to establish our running game early and often. And with the speed we have at the running back position, I think we will be able to gain chunk yardage throughout the whole game.
Hopefully the Eagles will be able to get that yardage and come out with a win. Prosper's always been known of having a great student section, but we do want to make sure that we don't downgrade from previous years. Reese Ranzer has what to do and what not to do while watching Friday Night Live.
At Prosper football games, the crowd needs to make sure they are more involved in the game. At the start of the game, the crowd needs to cheer loudly, because when they do, the Eagles are able to make big plays like this. Make sure to scream loud after a big play like this, and make sure to have some energy. Do not be like this, because then the Eagles do not play well. Make sure that while the defense is on the field, you make some noise to distract the opposing team. This allows the Eagles to make defensive plays like these. Do not be those kids who hang out behind the bleachers and don't pay attention. Keeping this in mind, we will see you at the next Prosper football game.
We here at Prosper are known for our school spirit and more specifically our student section. Football players, as well as any Prosper athletes, seem to feed off that energy that students provide them.
It seems like that's how it is with every sport, though. We tend to work harder when we have more support, but that's on and off the field.
Even though we may be doing sideline reports or filming the games, we all make sure to cheer on our teams that are playing.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for you today. For Game Time, I'm Brandon Bonaparte.
I'm Gabby Mahan.
I'm Brayden Brandvold.
And I'm Seth Golden.
We'll see you guys at the Star.